A remarkable match for Celtic to beat Barcelona. Tomorrow it's back to earth in the SPL at home to St Johnstone. So just 24 hours left for Neil Lennon and co to bask in the glory of one of the great nights in the club's 125-year history.
Lisbon 1967 will always have its precious place in Celtic history. The first British club to win the European Cup. They were the Lisbon Lions. It's a bit early to talk about Lennon's legacy, but Celtic 2, Barcelona 1 in the Champions League on Wednesday night is a result which will take a bit of beating.
Here's an opportunity! What for history! What makes it 2-0! Sensational! The 18-year-old has only been on the pitch a few minutes. What a night at Celtic Park!
Neil, in the history of Celtic Football Club, where does Celtic 2, Barcelona 1 come?
It's a very good question, and it's for the fans really to make the comparisons. You know, the Jack Stein team got the 2 European finals, you know, Martin's team, the team I played in, you know, going to Seville and on the way of beating Liverpool and the likes. It'll rank in there amongst them somewhere, I'm sure, but for me personally, it was, you know, the pinnacle of anything I've done. Playing Barcelona in the Champions League, for our supporters, it doesn't get better than that. You knew what they were going to bring to the stadium and you knew what they were going to bring for the team. And it just culminated in a fantastic performance from the players and the supporters as well.
Your temperament has been pushed to the limits at times as well. How much have you grown as a manager?
I think winning the league was very important for me personally. You can never get comfortable in any manager's job, but it made me feel more comfortable in the role. So that was a psychological barrier to overcome, and I did that.
Is there a feeling that once you've beaten Barcelona, anything's possible?
Anything's possible. You know, we could go on and qualify and go on a great run, or we could not make it through the group. That's the reality of it, that all 4 teams are still in with a chance of qualifying. Now, I have to temper expectation because everyone is talking about us, you know, which is fantastic for the players and the club. But the reality is that we still could come away with nothing.
Rod Stewart was in tears in the director's box the other night, but you know who you've got to as a club when you get a phone call from Sir Elton John.
I know. Just one of those surreal moments in your life. He just said, I felt compelled to call you. You know, having watched your team play on Wednesday, I just wanted to give you a call to congratulate you. He was very knowledgeable about the game. It was just a very cordial conversation and one that I'll remember for a long time. When
you're up there with the showbiz stars and you're in lovey land, it's maybe to be expected that Celtic at times this season have struggled to juggle with the big European ties and domestic business as well.
It is new for us all. It's new for me to combine Champions League with domestic football, but we've only taken 1 point out of 6 now in the last 2 league games, so it's really important we get back to winning ways on Sunday.
What's new as well is no Rangers. Do you miss that?
In terms of a football and fixture, yeah, it's a big miss, you know, and financially it's a big loss for the club as well, but that's the reality of where we are, and I can't dwell on where Rangers are now. I've got to concentrate on what we're doing. And thankfully we've had the Champions League football to really, you know, add a really nice ingredient to the season.
If you just joined us, by the way, you're watching Football Focus live from Goodison Park this afternoon, where Everton take on Sunderland a little bit later on. But Mr. Reid, Peter, sorry, Celtic are your second club from many years ago, and we need to talk about what a performance that was, not only for Neil Lennon, not only for the players, those involved, particularly those who scored, but for the fans as well and the club in general.
Well, Celtic Park's one of the atmospheric grounds in the world, and I've been in a couple of games up there, all firm games, and they're brilliant. And it was always going to be difficult for Barcelona, but hands on heart, I didn't give Celtic a prayer, and what a fantastic, unbelievable result against the best club side in the world, in my opinion.
On the other side of it, Martin, there's almost no point beating Barcelona and not getting out of that Champions League group. If they win away in Benfica in their next game, then they will go through, but they have to go through after that result, don't they?
It's still tough, but they've got to be favourites now, haven't they? They've got the Spartak Moscow, their last game as well to finish off. Benfica have got to go to Barcelona, so it's looking like they've gone some way to doing it. But it's ironical that in their own domestic league, it's probably their worst start for some time. But because Rangers aren't in there now, I think they can concentrate on these Champions League games, and that was a monumental result for them against what is probably the best football team that's ever played the game of football. Let's not beat around the bush. That was a fantastic performance.
And the other irony, if they can do it in Benfica, you know, what a tribute to the Lions that would be.
It's
fantastic.
Almost perfect,
it is, isn't it? It's a script. Who's wrote the script?
That's the positive side, but there's also been some dark